I think Gervonta Davis is probably the greatest fighter around now, but he's got a tough fight coming up.
I think I do have more skills than Mike Tyson. As far as when I say I have more skills than Mike Tyson, guys smarter than at a lower weight class always have more skill. It's no heavyweight ever in life.
You're the boxer, and he's the puncher.
It depends on how I'm feeling that night.
Depends on how you're feeling going into the fight? How you feeling today?
I'm feeling like Mike Tyson.
Gervonta Davis sounds off on Mike Tyson, and the comparisons. Gervonta Davis didn't hold back after hearing the news that boxing legend Mike Tyson had joined Lamont Roach's camp ahead of Davis's much-anticipated rematch. The announcement hit a nerve, and Davis made it clear he's had enough of being constantly compared to Tyson. I've got knockout power, sure, but I've got more skills than Mike Tyson. That's just the truth, Davis said, clearly fired up. He expressed frustration that people don't give him credit for the level of talent he brings to the ring. I'm not some mini Mike Tyson. I'm building my own legacy, he insisted. Davis wants fans and critics to recognize him for who he is, not as a copy of a past great. While he respects Tyson's place in boxing history, Davis believes it's time the spotlight focused on what he's doing now. With the rematch on the horizon, Davis is more determined than ever to prove that he's not walking in anyone else's shadow. He's blazing his own trail, but that wasn't the only topic Davis had strong opinions on. He also slammed Tyson's upcoming exhibition fight with Jake Paul, calling it a disappointing move. Who told Mike Tyson to take that fight? Davis asked, clearly frustrated. He couldn't understand why one of boxing's all-time greats would step into the ring with a social media star who lacks real boxing credentials. In Davis's eyes, Tyson's legacy should be protected, not put on the line for a publicity stunt. It stains everything he's done in the sport, he said. For Gervonta Davis, boxing is about skill, heart, and history. And he's not afraid to speak out when he feels those values are being overlooked or disrespected.
Following the Tyson fight, tell us, exactly why expound on that.
Because why would he even want to fight him? And who told Mike Tyson to fight anyway?
Do you think that it might have tarnished Mike's legacy in a way?
Yeah, they did. They definitely did.
Mike Tyson weighs in on comparisons to Gervonta "Tank" Davis. When Mike Tyson was recently asked if Gervonta "Tank" Davis reminded him of himself, something fans and analysts often bring up, Tyson responded with a chuckle and a bit of sarcasm. Maybe just the legal troubles, he joked, brushing off any real connection when it comes to boxing style or technique. Tyson made it clear he doesn't see many similarities between the two in the ring. While both men have had run-ins with the law, Tyson was quick to point out that their approaches to boxing are completely different. He acknowledged Davis's talent but stressed that Davis fights his own way and is building a legacy that's distinct from his own. Tyson, known for his raw power and aggressive style, said Davis brings something else to the table, a unique skill set that shouldn't be compared to his. Tyson's message was simple: every fighter walks a different path. While their personal struggles might seem similar, their styles and futures in the sport are not. He respects Davis, but he wants fans to stop lumping them together just because of a few surface-level similarities.
Davis, a lot of people say he reminds you of them. Does he remind you of yourself?
I don't know.
Thank you.
I don't know. Maybe just getting in trouble with the law. Other than that, no.
Fans draw parallels between Davis versus Roach and Tyson versus Holyfield. Boxing fans have started drawing some interesting comparisons between the first fight between Gervonta "Tank" Davis and Lamont Roach and the legendary showdown between Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield. And when you look at the dynamics, the similarities are hard to ignore. In both cases, one fighter came in as the heavy favorite. Tyson, in his prime, was seen as an unstoppable force, just like Tank Davis was heading into his bout with Roach. Davis was expected to overpower Roach, who many saw as too small or simply outmatched, but things didn't go according to plan. Much like Tyson's unexpected loss to Buster Douglas, Tank found himself in a tougher fight than anyone predicted. Roach wasn't just surviving, he was making Davis look uncomfortable, something fans had never seen before. He landed clean shots and showed impressive composure, even though he didn't walk away with the win. It reminded many of Holyfield's fight with Tyson. Holyfield came in as the underdog, but he stood his ground, absorbed Tyson's power, and slowly turned the tide of the fight. Tyson never seemed to really hurt Holyfield, and in a similar way, Tank never truly shook Roach, despite landing some big punches. While Roach didn't get the upset victory, his performance made one thing clear: Gervonta Davis isn't invincible, and the rematch is shaping up to be even more unpredictable.
Face off against one another. One guy was a massive favorite, had taken a loss, and was seen to be too small, right? And I'm talking about Evander Holyfield versus Iron Mike Tyson. Iron Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield was a major fight. A major fight. But Iron Mike Tyson was viewed as a destroyer. Okay? He was the baddest man on the planet. He was indestructible. The fact that he lost to James Buster Douglas was an anomaly because Mike Tyson wasn't focused and he overlooked.
Underdog grit. Roach and Holyfield show what toughness really looks like. What truly stands out in both the Tyson vs. Holyfield and Davis vs. Roach matchups is the sheer mental and physical toughness of the underdogs. Holyfield's win over Tyson wasn't just about skill, it was about heart, resilience, and the ability to stay composed under pressure. And while Roach didn't get the win against Tank Davis, his performance told a similar story. He pushed through the odds, stood toe-to-toe with a powerhouse, and forced people to rethink what he's capable of when things get tough. These parallels have sparked a lot of talk among fans and analysts. If history has taught us anything, it's that an underdog with the right mindset and game plan can change the narrative. That's what makes the upcoming rematch so compelling. People are wondering, will Roach finish what he started? Will history repeat itself? One thing's for sure, the stage is set for something big.
Now, Lamont Roach didn't get the victory, but he frustrated Tank Davis, and we never seen Tank Davis look like that in the fight. He hit him with a shoulder bar. He tried to bite him at one point in time in the 6th round. He took a ill-advised knee, and didn't get counted in the 9th round, right? A lot of things took place. He never truly hurt Lamont Roach, hit him with good, clean punches, but never got hurt. Lamont Roach ate the punches, similar to Holyfield.
Showbiz The Adult reveals Roach's game plan to beat Tank Davis. Boxing commentator Showbiz The Adult recently stirred the pot by claiming that Lamont Roach may have uncovered the secret to beating Gervonta Tank Davis. According to Showbiz, Roach has a deep understanding of Tank's fighting style, insight that most other opponents simply don't have. One of the biggest things Tank is known for is his ability to control distance. He's a master at staying just far enough away to avoid getting hit, while still being in range to land his own powerful shots. His footwork and timing make him hard to touch, and incredibly dangerous when he strikes. Showbiz compared this to Mike Tyson in his prime. Tyson's power was most effective at mid-range. But when opponents managed to crowd him and fight up close, it threw him off his game. According to Showbiz, Tank has a similar vulnerability. If a fighter can close the distance and get inside his range, it can reduce the impact of his punches and make him more uncomfortable. That's where Roach comes in. Showbiz believes Roach has figured this out, and knows exactly how to use it. By pushing the pace, staying close, and limiting Tank's space to operate, Roach could disrupt Tank's rhythm and take away his biggest advantage. This strategy, Showbiz says, is something only Roach truly understands in depth, and it could be the key to pulling off what many see as an upset. If Roach can execute it, the rematch could be a turning point in both fighters' careers.
This is a secret Lamont Roach knows. Tank can go get you if you're running away, because Tank is very good at knowing the distance where he has most leverage on his punches. If you think about Mike Tyson is strange to say, but he wasn't great with his power when he was very close on the inside. Mike Tyson was a mid-range puncher. That's why Mike Tyson could go in from a distance and step in and knock you out. But when y'all close, Mike Tyson didn't really have all his power in there. Neither does Tank. So if you're backing up, Tank can go get you. Other than that, Tank has to counter you. That's how Tank knocked out Rody. That's how Tank knocked out Ryan Garcia. That's how Tank hurt Mario Barrios and started that shit, that snowball. That's how Tank knocked out Leo Santa Cruz. That's why Tank talks so much. He needs you punching.
Gervonta Davis claims he's more complete than Mike Tyson. But at what cost? In recent interviews, Gervonta Tank Davis has made some bold claims, stating that while Mike Tyson had both power and skill, he believes he brings more to the table. According to Davis, it's not just about knockouts, it's about having the full package. He says his mix of punching power, ring intelligence, and adaptability makes him a more complete fighter than Tyson ever was. Davis seems to be positioning himself as more than just a heavy hitter. He wants to be seen as a thinker in the ring, someone who can read his opponent, adjust on the fly, and take control of a fight strategically, not just physically, but that kind of statement naturally raises eyebrows. Mike Tyson isn't just any former champion. He's one of the most iconic figures in boxing history, known for his devastating speed, unmatched power, and sheer intensity. In the late 80s, Tyson didn't just win, he overwhelmed and intimidated his opponents long before the first bell. So when a current star like Davis says he's better in terms of skill and boxing IQ, it can be seen as both a confident declaration and a risky one. On one hand, Davis may simply be trying to break free from the constant comparisons and define his own legacy. On the other, his comments might come off as dismissive of a fighter who reshaped the sport and earned his place among the all-time greats. Whether fans agree with him or not, one thing is clear, Davis is determined to be remembered on his own terms.
Do you feel like you're the mini Mike Tyson?
Nah.
So he knocked people out real quick. You knock people out real quick.
Yeah, but I can knock you out like...
So you saying that you can knock him out faster than Mike Tyson, probably, if it was a challenge?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying like... Mike Tyson got power and skills. I feel as though like I have like the whole package. Like I have, Mike Tyson don't have like, you know? I think
so. What's your message to Brandon?
Who?
Brandon.
What Brandon?
I know. Brandon is the nigga that whooped my ass. If you could say something to him real quick.
When we catch you, Brandon, we gonna get up with you.
Tyson joins Roach's camp. Could it tip the scales in the rematch against Tank Davis? Lately, there's been a lot of chatter about the similarities between Mike Tyson and Gervonta "Tank" Davis. But now, the conversation has taken an unexpected turn, with reports that Tyson is working with Lamont Roach ahead of the highly anticipated rematch with Davis. Things just got a lot more interesting. Tyson's legendary experience and deep understanding of the fight game could give Roach a serious edge. His input on strategy and mental toughness might be exactly what Roach needs to counter Tank's strengths in the ring. Showbiz the adult weighed in as well, pointing out that Davis may already be trying to get inside Roach's head. Known for his confidence and psychological tactics, Tank could be playing mental chess before the first punch is even thrown. According to Showbiz, these mind games are part of Davis's plan to shake Roach's focus and confidence ahead of the rematch. In a fight of this caliber, mental warfare can be just as important as physical training. If Tyson's presence helps Roach stay sharp, and Tank's mind games throw him off his rhythm, it could be the deciding factor in a fight that's already full of high stakes and rising tension. All eyes are now on what's shaping up to be one of the most intriguing matchups in recent memory.
Lamont is signed and ready to go for the rematch, correct?
Yeah, y'all Tank play so many head games, it's not even fun. Let me tell you something, bro. Lamont Roach has never been this big of a fighter before. Everyone knows Lamont Roach now. So he could be reaping the benefits of just enjoying his status of having that draw with Tank, while Tank is the one with the eye of the tiger. Tank is probably in the gym training his ass off. And then sign the contract like, all right, we got to fight when? June. Oh, shit! Let's hurry up and dash your ass. Sugar Ray Leonard did that to Roberto Duran. Duran was told that he had a fight in a couple weeks. And he was like, dude, I'm 190 pounds in Panama. Which is why Roberto Duran was out of shape in the No Mas fight and was like, no mas. So Tank could be over there working. Sign the contract in 3 weeks. And all of a sudden, Lamont Roach got to put a training camp together.
Lamont Roach proved he belongs. But boxing politics still loom large. Lamont Roach has shown he's no easy opponent, and he proved it when he went toe-to-toe with Gervonta "Tank" Davis in their first fight. At one point, he even forced Tank to take a knee, a rare sight that revealed just how much Roach was able to disrupt Davis's rhythm and make him uncomfortable in the ring. It was a powerful statement. Roach has the skills to hang with the best, but as every boxing fan knows, talent alone doesn't always determine the next big fight. Boxing is as much a business as it is a sport. And while Roach clearly earned respect with his performance, who gets title shots and big paydays often comes down to promotions, marketability, and behind-the-scenes negotiations. Roach might have the tools to challenge Tank again, and maybe even beat him, but getting that opportunity isn't just about what happens in the ring. It's also about navigating the politics that shape boxing's biggest moments.
Lamont Roach definitely earned my respect tonight. Definitely one of the first fighters to put Tank to the test. Just matching fire with fire. That was a good fight. For me, I need to see a rematch ASAP. But yeah, Tank definitely took the knee 100%. I see Roach winning that 7-5 personally. But boxing is business, so they were never going to let him have that win. Roach's timing was on point though. No easy knockouts tonight. Sharp counters like. Real, very good fighter, very good fighter. Let me know what you guys think, if that robbery was fair or not. Leave it in the comments.
Trainer Abel Sanchez predicts a stronger, sharper Tank in the rematch. Veteran boxing trainer Abel Sanchez has shared his take on the upcoming rematch between Gervonta "Tank" Davis and Lamont Roach, and he's siding with Tank in a big way. While some fans are anticipating another close fight, Sanchez believes the first bout was more about Tank having an off night than Roach outshining him. According to Sanchez, Tank simply wasn't at his best that evening, and that made the fight appear more competitive than it really was. This time around, Sanchez expects a different Tank to show up, one who's more focused, better prepared, and ready to remind everyone why he's considered one of the top fighters in the sport. He's confident that Tank's talent, speed, and power will be on full display in the rematch, and that the mistakes of the first fight won't be repeated. Although Sanchez acknowledges that Roach showed real grit and pushed Tank in ways we hadn't seen before, he believes that Tank now knows what to expect and will adjust accordingly. In his view, a sharper and more locked-in Davis will handle Roach with much more control, and possibly with ease. Sanchez's prediction adds yet another layer to the growing anticipation around this rematch, with fans eager to see if Tank can deliver the dominant performance his supporters expect, or if Roach will rise to the occasion again.
I think Gervonta had a bad night. I look for a tough fight in the next fight, but I still see Gervonta winning. I think Gervonta will win in a little easier this time. But Roach is a heck of a fighter. He's going to give everybody a hard, anybody that fights is going to give a hard time. But I do think that Davis had an off night.
I spoke to Eddie Hearn and he said he wanted to make the Shakur-Tank fight straight away. Obviously now Tank's going into the rematch. That won't happen yet, but when it does happen, Eddie's still adamant that could happen this year or straight after the Roach fight. How do you see that fight playing out?
Between who?
Shakur and Tank.
I still think Tank is the elite in the division. It's a difficult fight also, but I don't think Shakur will be as difficult as Lamont Roach was.